say definitively that religions are all bullshit.
Welcome to Brainstorm.
We have the explicit tag for a reason.
This is a base level argument to a higher level morality.
I get paid to science?
Two science as much as one can science.
What the hell was my point?
Trigger warning. The Brainstorm podcast will criticize your most cherished beliefs. We attack nonsense in all its forms and discuss difficult subjects. If you peddle pseudoscience, supernatural woo, or religious dogma, then this is not your safe place. This is the home of hardcore skepticism.
Hey, and welcome to Brainstorm Podcast. This is episode 49, and today is July 7th, 2016. I'm Corey, and my panel tonight are Renee.
Hello.
Angela.
Hi.
Leo.
Hey.
With the always amazing Dave doing sound here in Roman Empire Studios.
2.0.
2.0. We're in Regina, Saskatchewan. Tonight's show is brought to you by Reasonist Inc., atheist, skeptic, and science-based apparel. You can find them at reasonistinc.com. Tonight's guest is Dave, a.k.a. the Great White North from the Wayward Atheist podcast, formerly on the Atheist podcast, EH. Dave has made multiple appearances on other shows and is becoming one of the more popular voices in Canadian atheism. Welcome, Dave.
Hello. Thanks for having me. Before we get into it real quick, Edward Smith, one of my co-hosts, he said to say hi. He's a listener to the show.
Sweet. Thanks.
This is really embarrassing, though. He asked me to ask you guys for a job. I don't really know what the position is. He said something about pre-show fluffer. I don't really know. I don't really know what that is.
Well,
but I know the type of guy he is. And when he grabs a hold of things that are really hard, he's usually able to milk it for everything that it's worth. I think you guys should give him a shot. Give him a shot at pre-show fluffer.
Give him a shot.
Give him a shot, indeed.
Problem is that's usually left for the bonus content.
That's,
that's Brainstorm After Dark for this kind of stuff.
As soon as Edward, the ex-Mormon Newfie, Google's fluffer, he's going to be really angry.
Nice. Yeah, I can say that's the post-show content, not the pre-show content. Yeah. Jeez, yeah.
That's a good way to start off.
Yeah, that was good.
Thought I'd get you guys laughing first.
Woo. No, that's the way to do it for sure. So
did we run with the trigger warning one? We should have.
Yeah.
We got our trigger warning intro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't actually write any questions down for you, Dave. I figured we'd just have a beer and chat.
Sure.
Be truly Canadian.
I'll have
a root beer.
Yeah.
That
Root
works
beer.
too. Yeah.
Even though there are alcoholic root beers now.
The hard ones.
Is that right?
I saw that.
So good.
I usually just like beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Yeah.
Beer-flavored beer.
No coffee beer, no strawberry beer, no vanilla beer, just fucking beer. Thank you.
beer.
It could be in any shape, like ale, fucking like cream ale, lager, IPA, as long as it's beer.
Yeah, it's got to be beer.
That's cool.
Beer.
That's cool.
But I had the hard root beer, and it didn't taste that different from normal root beer.
There's a first snap of alcohol, and then it's like root beer.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Yeah, but okay, so there's a difference between the hard root beer and then the beer root beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an actual beer root beer,
Right.
and then there's beer.
Okay, I haven't seen that
hard
one yet.
beer. Yeah, we have it in the beer stores in Ontario.
You probably have better selection there than we do.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Probably.
hard to say.
Are your guys' beer stores government or are they private?
They're
Government.
Government.
For now.
Government. Yeah, ours are government as well. But our beer store and liquor stores, they're pretty big compared to like the privatized beer stores in Alberta and BC.
Yeah.
We have better selection
Yeah,
than
we've got
we
some pretty
did.
nice big ones, but anyway.
How many people live in Saskatchewan now?
I think we're 1.2 million now. For the whole
1.2.
province.
Oh, for the whole fucking province.
Yeah.
The whole fucking province.
Yeah.
We're tiny.
Yeah, for the
damn
whole
it.
province.
Okay,
Size
so that's
doesn't matter,
like the
Dave.
city.
Size doesn't matter.
That's you know you're lying right now.
Well, I mean, Saskatchewan is huge, but with very few people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's
That's true.
huge. It's just not filled.
Yeah.
That
I
I'm
guess,
sure. I'm sure that that's what they all tell you. But I actually grew up somewhere way smaller than where you guys are at. So I grew up in Thunder Bay,
Okay,
which
yeah.
is a
Oh.
lot smaller and pretty northern.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty small place.
How many
So-
people live up there?
When I was there, 117,000.
That's not very many.
No,
It's still bigger than Weyburn, but
This is true.
I think
and
that-
the thing with it is that the next nearest like actual city is not for like 9 hours.
right.
That's a long ways.
Yeah. Shipping would be expensive.
Yeah, Ontario is massive. And especially the way that it's shaped.
Right.
Takes like 30 hours to drive from one end to the other.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure the Americans are like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anybody have a question? Go ahead, fire away.
Sure. Okay. Well, let's just start off with something simple. Like, what started your podcast? What got you going?
Okay, so I didn't even have a Facebook account like a little over a year ago. I've been listening to Atheist podcasts since they first came out. I've been an atheist since I was about 8 years old, and I just never felt the need to get involved with the community. But listening to Cash, you guys all know who Cash is. So listening to Atheist on Air, he was the first atheist podcaster that actually inspired me. I honestly believed him when he said that he felt the way that he did.
Yeah.
So I, for the first time, wanted to get involved. So I joined his Facebook group, or it was based off of his show. He wasn't running it, obviously. And through there, I met some people, and then they were phone screeners on the Forbidden Fruit podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Yep.
It was a live call-in on Blog Talk Radio. So they asked me to call in and talk about my autistic son, about parenting for that. And I talked for a long time. And after I was done, the phone screener's like, you should start a podcast. And then I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. And hummed and hawed at it and made a bunch of excuses for about 4 months. And then I just decided to do it. So me, Corinne, and Christopher, we got together and we recorded a podcast, and it was a fucking piece of dog shit. I like
First one always is.
the topics just totally failed. I thought there was going to be more in it than there actually was, and they just tanked. And so basically the three of us got shit-faced and talked about terrorism for 2 hours. Audio was terrible. The editing was awful. Like you could hear like the pauses in the voices where it was being tied together. You know, it was awful. So then we did that for not quite a year, and I had a falling out with one of the co-hosts, and we kind of went our separate ways. And then we started the Wayward Atheist, and I think it's a better produced show. And so far, it's been well received. We got tons of downloads, tons of plays.
That's awesome.
Good guests. This Sunday, Cognitive Dissonance will be on. We had Daryl Ray on 2 weeks ago, and on Friday we had Bryce from the Mormon podcast.
And you do a show every week?
Yeah, so every Friday we do a show. It's usually edited and released Monday or Tuesday. But this week we will be doing 2 shows.
Okay.
Our regular show will be done Friday, and then a special show will be done for Cognitive Dissonance on Sunday.
Okay. No, that's cool. That's a pretty big name to get on your show. Or pretty that that
especially
early.
after like 6 episodes in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can thank Corinne for that. She's the one that booked them.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So that through the Atheists on Air group, that's just how you met all your co-hosts?
That's all. Yeah, I didn't like when I joined Facebook, I'd never had a Facebook account. I didn't have like one Facebook friend. So when I created my Facebook account and like tried to join, the admin of the group was like, "Fuck off, creeper," because
Clearly a bot.
You look at somebody, either a bot or a Christard trying to sneak my way in there.
Yeah.
So I was like, "No, I'm just a renovations contractor," And she's like, "Take a picture." So I took a picture at my chop saw, and yeah,
There you go. Well, that's awesome.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, like, because I've been seeing your name around for a while. I think I first saw it on a post by Dave Foda.
Yes.
And Deborah from Beyond the Trailer Park has mentioned you a couple times. So I saw your name long before I actually met you.
Yeah, both very good people. Dave Foda is fun to talk to. He likes to get shit faced and ramble on. It's a good time. Last time I was on with him, it was some American holiday anyway. So we started drinking. First, me and Chris started drinking, and Chris passed out, and then Dave Foda came on, and then Dave Foda was done, and then I actually went on and talked to Deb for like, I don't know, 2 more hours after that.
Nice.
I think we have higher tolerance than Americans.
Yeah, sometimes it seems that way.
That's awesome.
So far it seems to be your, to make a good podcast, the key is to get shit-faced.
It's just a rare thing. I was in a rush home. I didn't get a chance to stop at the beer store. When I podcast, I find it loosens you up.
Yeah.
So a couple of times I've gotten too drunk, and not that I've acted like an asshole or anything, because I'm actually a pretty outgoing, happy drinker, but I end up with marbles in my mouth.
I think I've done that a couple times.
and I slur a little bit. If you go into our Spreaker account and you look for a bonus segment called No Bells and Whistles, that was from Canada Day. That is a prime example. That is a prime example of me with marbles in my mouth. But there is a really funny segment. I find it funny anyways. I kind of explained Scientology to Edward and the mindset of trying to get to the next level. So basically, it's like the people that are in the level above you, they're supposed to have, you're supposed to be magic by then. So you can levitate, you can move shit with your mind. So when they've paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get to this level, like this is just before clear, the people below them will say, "Well, can you do this?" And they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, I'm magic now. I can, levitate. I can move shit with my mind." And then people at level 5 are like, "Well, fuck, if this fucking dummy can do it, I'm definitely going to move shit with my mind when I get there." So they pay the thousands and thousands of dollars, and then they make it to level 6. And the people that were with them in level 5 ask them, "So can you move shit?" "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I can move shit with my mind. Of course I can. That dumb can." And that's the perpetual cycle of the fucking bullshit that is Scientology.
Just a game of one-upping.
Yeah.
So what level is Tom Cruise? Because I think he's just hit level crazy.
He's clear for sure, clearly fucking crazy. No,
But didn't he leave Scientology?
No.
We would have heard it in People magazine for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
He left briefly when he was... And this suddenly became fucking TMZ, but he briefly left Scientology when he was with Nicole Kidman, and then when they broke up, they fucking roped him back right in.
Yeah, and now they've made him like Admiral of fucking Planet Xenu or whatever the fuck it is. So he's not going to go anywhere. And he's like out on stage, and they put this fucking ribbon around him, and he's fucking saluting like he's some kind of fucking soldier. It's crazy. They're all fucking crazy.
Yeah. Off the top.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I watched that documentary Going Clear, and it was just like fascinating in its craziness.
Well, the billion-year contract is what amazes me.
Yeah. The C-word billion-year contract.
Yeah, because, okay, so I work in construction. There's no contracts in construction like there is in office. Like either you can do the job or you can't.
Yeah.
So when you go to an office and you sign a contract, it's like 5 years, 10-year contract. Like nobody's going to say to you a billion fucking year contract. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
We've got you for the next 20 incarnations.
Yeah. At some point, don't you just say infinite? We've got you till the end of eternity. So deal with it.
Well, maybe there's a clause when you reach clear, you do live for eternity, I guess.
Oh, maybe. So then a couple billion is good, right?
It's
Well,
good,
maybe
yeah.
when you truly reach clear, that's when you get to renegotiate. But there is no actual clear.
the people that sign those contracts for 1 billion years, they make like 25 cents a day. So the kids in Pakistan that are making the clothes for the Canadian Superstore are fucking ballers compared to the fucking Sea Org retards.
Yeah,
that's probably what they get told. It's like, yes, it's shit, but at least you're not Scientologists.
Yeah, exactly.
It could always be worse.
You could be painting. You could be painting rooms for Tom Cruise.
What's going on? Oh, sorry, guys.
Are you having issues?
I am. I lost my audio.
Getting a little excited. Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Loud and clear.
You know what that was? Scientologists getting back at us.
That was Scientology right there. Yeah.
We've been hacked.
Am I back?
Another Dave.
Yeah,
David
you're back.
I heard you that
Okay,
time.
perfect.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what
okay.
happened.
Yeah,
That's
no
okay.
worries. I guess
I'm not professional. I only pretend to be one on television. So.
It's all good. It's all good.
just to pretend to be one on your podcast.
Yeah.
All right, so you appear to be the most obsessed person I've ever seen with Game of Thrones.
Yes. Game of Thrones, the TV show, not the books.
Ah, right.
I haven't read the book. I actually started with the television show, so I didn't want to ruin the TV show by listening or let's not pretend that I'm actually going to read the books by listening to the books.
By audiobook.
By audiobook. Well, I am dyslexic, so it takes a long ass time for me to read books.
That's fair.
So it is the greatest television show in the history of TV. There's there's no argument. There's no argument. Okay. If you look at it like costume, landscape, the scenes that they put together, the story that R.R. Martin wrote, the actors, the casting, like it, take away the fact that there's boobies and lots of killing, and it's still the greatest TV show.
There's so many boobies.
Well, they
are a lot
invented
of
what they call it, sexposition, where they
Yes,
where they
yes.
explain the plot while everyone's just done banging or.
Yeah.
I mean, it is still HBO.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm
Go
a
ahead.
hardcore Sopranos fan, or was back in the day.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really hard to beat Sopranos as a show. It's hard.
It's a different type of show, but the phenomenon that is Game of Thrones has way surpassed The Sopranos, like the viewership that they get, but also the budget for
it's
Game
got a
of Thrones
huge
is
budget.
way bigger, and they actually have to film all the episodes consecutively, so like at the same time. So they have 10 different directors working at once because they're just the episodes are way too big. Like if you look at Battle of the Bastards,
Right.
Yeah.
that's like a fucking season of filming right there.
Yeah.
And to get all those shots right for a TV show is insane. It's like you're getting 10 movies.
Yeah.
You know, like each week is a new movie. But I've like, so part of the other allure for me is that I always felt like if I was going to be born in another time, it would be during like medieval times, and I would be on a battlefield somewhere. I don't know. I've just always had a fascination with it. I'm not like crazy like going to those fairs and stuff, but I'm a pretty big history buff, and so that's my fascination. And plus, because I'm a northerner, I like the Starks.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we are the North, so.
Yeah.
There's a group called the Society for Creative Anachronism, I think it's called.
SCA, yep.
And you can pick, like, they actually pick a character and they dress in medieval times garb. You could totally do it. You could totally.
Yeah, I'm
go
probably not
pretend.
going to do that. I'm probably not going to do that, but I'll watch Game of Thrones and live vicariously through there.
These people are hardcore.
They are hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they are hardcore.
LARPing.
Yeah,
I think
action
the
role
plot,
play.
also the plot line of the show, like, so you're watching it and you think Ned Stark is the hero of the show,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they cut his fucking head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no other television show had done that. They just like, oh, you're a hero? But I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then you're going along and you're thinking, okay, there's no way this is going to happen again. And then the Red Wedding happens. And you're like, holy fuck. That's what makes the show so
Yeah.
good. Because it just it keeps you guessing. Like, you never know who's going to die.
Yeah.
Like Jon Snow did die.
He did.
You know? He did.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
That's right, actually.
But that
was-
exact thing
you never-
is what made me stop watch the show.
Oh, was that right?
Why?
I was really into it. It was like crack cocaine for me.
But you realize that this was already a storyline within the show that this
but
can happen, right?
I hadn't read the books or anything, so I started watching the show, and then I got very pissed at when they killed Ned Stark. I was like, oh, that's not cool.
So that's what made you stop?
No. I watched all the way to the 5th season, and they just they kept doing it, like killing off people that I was like, this is just not cool. I like those people.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but we're winning. We're winning now. We're winning now. The Starks have taken back Winterfell.
Except, well, I don't want to go too far as spoilers.
Yeah, we've already got
Don't go anywhere.
going on about spoilers.
But yeah.
Spoiler alert.
But it
Cheapers, if you haven't watched it yet,
But
you're
yeah.
not a true aficionado.
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything. I haven't seen the last season and a half or whatever I've missed. But I got so pissed. I was like, I don't know. I don't want to see who they kill next, and so I just kind of stopped watching.
Well, see, that's kind of the loop of Game of Thrones. It's like, this show's awesome. I love this character. Oh, you fucker! You just killed that character.
Exactly.
And isn't that one of like George R.R. Martin's tweets? Was like, oh, I see you like this character.
Yeah, so noted. Winky face. Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
The hardest time for me in the show was, and not even like she's one of my favorite characters, but I think the story arc of Sansa Stark.
Yeah.
She just couldn't catch a fucking break. And by the end of season 4 or 5, whenever she first gets
With Ramsay.
married to Ramsay Snow, I was like, come on, get like, what the fuck? Kill her or let her go. One of the two. You know, like, don't quit fucking dragging this out. But,
Yeah.
but you're supposed to hate the guy, so when the Battle of the Bastards come, you're happy that
Yeah. The thing
he
that
gets
I
eaten
really
by
struggled
dogs.
with, and I thought it was funny, somebody tweeted that the Battle of the Bastards should have also been called Sansa's best day ever.
yeah.
Because she
Yeah.
got the ultimate payback. But the thing for me with Game of Thrones, the hardest plot arc, I guess, for me to watch was when Theon Greyjoy was kept captive by Ramsay.
Right.
And the stuff that they did to him repeatedly. I mean, it only takes like a scene or two of that to portray Ramsay as a badass. Not even badass, but just a horrible
evil.
person. Like, I didn't need to see that.
But at the time, Theon did just, ruin the war for the Starks, and it's because of Theon.
It's because of him potentially killing the Starks that.
No, it's because he went and took Winterfell, and that divided the forces.
Yeah.
So is that why he was tortured like that?
Yeah, well, so the not Baratheon. What's Ramsay's last name? Bolton. His
Bolton,
dad,
yeah.
Sir Lord Bolton, told Robb Stark that Ramsay would take half the forces and go back and take Winterfell. So it divided the forces there. So they had to go to Walder Frey and ask him for men and to get across the bridge. And that's when Walder Frey said, you have to marry one of my daughters or whatever. And he didn't marry the daughter. So it was partly due to Theon Greyjoy that this whole thing transpired. So
Okay.
I didn't feel sorry for him at all.
Okay. I don't know. I think for me, he was just such a pitiful character anyways. He was just like...
yeah, that's true.
I wasn't
Yeah, but he's
like-
on the mend. He's on the mend.
He's on the mend.
There are some
he's got
things
no-
that can never be
He's got
fixed.
no dick. He's got no dick, but he's still on the mend.
He's penisless.
That seems So sad.
Yeah.
It's like someone else I saw commenting on it. Theon started out so cocky. Not so much anymore.
That's right.
I think his
He was a
sister has a
cocky
bigger
little shit,
cock than
though.
him
He
at
was.
this point.
Yeah.
She's gonna have a great relationship with Daenerys.
We were just
for
saying
sure.
at supper how much I hate Cersei, but was glad for this last bit of this last season. So
Only Game of Thrones could make you cheer for basically Dick Cheney.
yeah.
Yeah, but there was a couple people in there that I didn't want to see. Go
Yeah,
up in
that's true.
flames
That's
along
true.
with The other.
Marjorie.
Yeah, Marjorie. I guess just Marjorie. So one person.
Well, so
One
Loras,
person.
her brother didn't need to die.
Yeah, but wasn't he like a inconsequential in a sense? Like I didn't really.
Sort of.
He was
a
one of
great
the
fighter,
he's
but they
one of
never
the
really
greatest
showed it.
swordsmen. Yeah, he's supposed to be like the second best swordsman in
Yeah, that's not cool. I guess.
Yeah.
but he did turn out to be like a total puss in the end. Where his sister, stayed fast.
Yeah, she was tough.
I wanted to
But-
see where that would go, though. Like I was saying at supper, I wanted to see how much she and Cersei could be at odds with each other.
I think what works best with Game of Thrones, the show, is how they work in such realms of there is no clear cut good and evil. Like
Yeah.
They'll make a. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, you look at, Melisandre. Yes, she brought back Jon Snow, but she also roasted the one daughter. How many people did she put to the torch?
That's true. I did not like her before she brought Jon Snow back to life.
I think the most prime example of this is Jaime.
Yeah.
He's the one that started this whole mess by pushing Bran out the window.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's still a douche.
And we fucking no, but lots of people like his character.
I mean, really, what started it was the fact that he was fucking his sister. That's kind of what started it, because they were looking into the whole legitimacy of the kids, and it's like, it's twin cest. That's why.
Yeah, fucking your own sister normally doesn't turn out that well.
No.
And then he threw out a 10-year-old out a window.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
now the three-eyed raven.
That's not okay.
But when he lost his hand, I was actually glad.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, cut the other one. He can still masturbate. Just cut it.
I thought they should have just fucking killed him personally.
Yeah, that's right.
That would be too generous, though, I think.
But then, like you say, now people like him. I don't know.
So what do you think about
ahead.
Melisandre just being sent away at the end?
Okay, so I think it shows good judgment on Jon's part. I think it shows both punishment and mercy. Like, she did bring him back to life after all, and that's handy to have around. I guess, right? You don't want to really kill the
just in case he knows where she's gone if he needs her again.
Yeah.
For those D&D freaks, it's the cleric with the resurrection spell. You don't throw that person away, even if they're an asshole.
Fair enough.
Part of the other if you look back to one of the mistakes that Robb Stark made, it was executing. I can't remember what his name is now offhand, but he was one of the lords.
I think it was the Karstark.
The Karstark, yeah, he executed him on something that he could have showed leniency on, and that kind of turned them against him a little bit. Okay. So I think that Jon is showing better judgment than his brother, his father, because they just execute. Like even Ned would execute without, the guy was running away from White Walkers in the opening episode, and he executes him. And he doesn't have to do it himself. He's the Lord. He could have anybody do it. But he says
they haven't seen White Walkers in 8,000 years.
I know, but he believed him. He believed him, and he still executed him.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
the first episode. I might have to rewatch.
Yeah, it'll be worth rewatching.
It might be worth rewatching.
I need to see that again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've probably rewatched the series like 3 times.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I got to say, I'm only once through each episode, so
I need to repeat it.
But I get into TV series like this. I watch TV one day a week. It's on Sunday, and so like I'll watch 2-3 TV shows. I'll watch TV for about 3 hours, and I get into most. Like I just happen to like Game of Thrones the best out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like I do get into most TV shows that I'm watching.
I think Game of Thrones is like super well written. Like it's
insanely well written. The double Ds, as they're called, they do a great job.
Yeah.
Even when you're criticizing them, you're still kind of going, yeah, I'm still going to watch the damn show.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you guys watched or listened to any TV show podcasts?
No, I haven't.
My husband listens to those quite a bit.
I'm bad for I'll watch Emergency Awesome when he'll after Game of Thrones stuff. I'll watch his stuff.
Okay.
And,
yeah. Have you guys heard of Bald Moves?
No, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, they're like they do all the TV shows. So like they do The Walking Dead, they do Game of Thrones. They're actually pretty good. They're atheists. And
what's that one called?
So they kind of their production company is called Bald Moves, BALD Moves, and they do it for a bunch of TV shows. So they're like right against the Sparrow, and they don't care, and they hate Melisandre too. Like anything that's like. Yeah, anything that's like
any religious
magic
craziness
or religious or pretending to be religious, that they like one of them has more of a disdain for it than the other one. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's good. That sounds like fun.
I mean, I guess that could be entertaining. We could do a podcast where we just strip the whole Game of Thrones, like the High Sparrow and.
Well, there are definitely Game of Thrones podcasts.
Yes.
It's not an uncommon thing.
There's the after show now too.
Yeah, After the Thrones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that one.
I've only seen it once though.
But it's still, I think it's entertaining to rip it apart through an atheist lens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're professionals at it though. Like they make their podcast turns a profit, or their podcasts, I should say, turn a profit.
Yes, that's
so they're also professional critics. And they fucking ripped The Walking Dead last season. Ripped it right apart. Oh yeah, I liked some of the Walking Dead episodes last year. Like I think that the second half of the season was super strong, and it just got to the point where I was like, okay, enough already. I thought that episode was pretty good. You know what I mean?
I think I might enjoy your commentary.
So
I did not think.
So the podcast is called. It's just Game of Thrones, and it's by Game of Thrones podcast and by baldmoves.com.
Okay, cool.
Thanks. I'm writing that down.
All right. So you said you've been an atheist since you were 8.
Yes.
How does that work? Almost nobody is that.
I know. So tell you the truth, my grandfather was a Unitarian minister.
Okay.
But my home life was pretty terrible, like terrible. And so like the story of a loving God really never made sense to me, because my neighbors had lots and I had fuck all, and it was really bad. Like it's been written in a book. So legit written in a book. So when I was around that age, I didn't believe in the story of a loving God, but I was super into dinosaurs, and I knew all of their names. And I had this really cool teacher that taught me, the timelines of each period. And I knew that Christians were saying that the earth was created, 6,000 years ago, but that dinosaurs were around 50 to 75 million years ago. So right then I knew it was bullshit, because my life sucked and dinosaurs.
Right. Proof against. Yeah.
Boom,
but I will say that I did go through a phase where I wasn't exactly a skeptic. So even though I didn't believe in God, I did, maybe there's ghosts, or I pretended to believe in ghosts. tried
Pretended.
to fool myself into believing that there was ghosts. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you get that kind of group mentality,
Yeah.
Yes.
and of course everybody goes through a little tiny phase of, or I don't know, like some people it drags on forever, but the conspiracy theories, it's before you learn how to think critically, and before the internet was around, because I'm 39 and I didn't have the internet until I was already in my teens. So before you can look into things and before you can learn how to think for yourself, if you see a TV show on television and it has aliens that look like they're actual aliens, and you have like a scientist looking guy on there explaining the aliens, well, chances are, unless you're a little bit older, you're going to believe in it.
Yeah.
So for a while there, I believed in some woo bullshit.
I think I believed in some woo bullshit until I was pretty old, so
Me too.
can't fault you that way.
Nope. Definitely.
So you know
not.
how people say that you have to apply the same. So I hear Matt Dillahunty say this to people. You have to apply the same skepticism that you do to ghosts and vampires towards God.
Right.
But
Yeah.
for me, it was the opposite. I had to apply the same skepticism that I applied towards a god to fucking ghosts and vampires. Not really vampires,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean.
Totally. That makes sense.
I once got into an argument with somebody. They said, well, I don't believe in zombies. I don't like that Walking Dead show because I don't believe in zombies because they're unrealistic. But vampires... And I go, what?
Well, let me stop you right there. Let me stop.
You believe in things that, are killed by the sun and suck blood, but...
Although zombies are a little more real than vampires. Slightly. Kind of. Sort of.
Slightly. There's a not real zombie per se, but...
Yeah, it gets really weird. You have to read Wade Davis.
You guys want to see zombies? Go to East Hastings, downtown Vancouver. You'll see a bunch of fucking zombies.
Okay.
Yeah.
East Hastings. I'm writing that down.
No, you don't want to actually go there.
Don't want to. No.
Not really.
Actually, don't.
Sort of
I'm
on that
kidding. Fear not.
Yeah. So you said that your part of your story has been in a book.
Yeah.
So what is that story about?
Well, my sister was a sex worker. We were kicked out of the house at a fairly young age, and she actually got kicked out before me. She was 13, and she was staying with this older girl. I think she was probably 7 years older than her. And one of the girls, the other girl was also a sex worker, and one of the Johns had come by, and this girl wasn't home and offered my sister some money, and she, was homeless because she was kicked out of her house. And that's what got her started in sex trafficking or being a sex worker. So that went on for about 7 years, and I was kicked out shortly after that. So I lived with her, and I just did, basic retarded stuff. Sorry for that word. Basic juvenile stuff, like breaking into houses and doing all kinds of stuff just to, make ends meet while we're living in a crappy hotel room. And when I think she was 18 or so, she met this Crown attorney named Agnew Johnson, and he started paying her for sex. And she came to me and said that he had slapped her around a bit. So I broke into his house and was going to exact revenge on him. But I got arrested. And during the time when I was in jail, she had went to him and told him, basically, get the charges dropped on him. You know what you did. He was just reacting, whatever. So he refused. So she called the police, and we wrote a statement against him. And then, maybe 4 months later, she was murdered. And
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And he was charged with, all kinds of having sex with underage prostitutes and all sorts of, and of course was a main suspect in the murder trial. But they charged and sentenced another person who denies it the whole time. I think I have healthy skepticism as to whether or not, because it wasn't just Agnew Johnson that was involved. So in the book, it'll say it says, that there was other high standing officials in the city, and it went right from the top through the police station, the fire department, lawyers, all those types of people. So I have some skepticism on whether or not it was the actual guy.
The guy who was convicted.
Yeah. Like I do, because there was another sex worker that was murdered and found in the general area that my sister was found. And both times, the only car that was seen by witnesses in the area, both when my sister was found and the other girl, was a police car. So I think I have it's not like I'm like super skeptical, because if I was privy to the evidence, because contrary to TV, even as a family member, I can't go down there and say, give me all this, give me all
give me the paperwork.
But basically, I think the conviction stood on the fact that he had 3 different tires. One was different than the other 3. And that was like the snow track. So I guess they went around the city of, 117, 120,000 people looking for a vehicle that had one tire different than the others. I don't really understand. Huh. So, and I was also in jail, so I wasn't there for any of the trials.
Right. That
so
sounds,
I think, yeah.
It sounds fishy, dubious, but
at best,
Stephen Novella says that a skeptic always has reasonable doubt, so they'd never want you in a jury. So something like that, you go, that sounds dubious. That's not the best evidence.
Yeah.
They would never want that. But
I think I try not to, like, if I'm debating somebody, especially a religious person, or if they ask me about myself, I usually don't tell them that. Like, I was an atheist a long time before this stuff ever happened. Like, my real dad buggered off when I was 12. I was already an atheist by then. I didn't understand. I didn't say, like, I'm an atheist. I just didn't believe in the stories, because that they're going to go right for that. Yeah. Oh, that's the reason why you're an atheist. And then it's like, hang on. It's like, you're just angry at God.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You could always use the George Carlin line of, you're religious until you reach the age of reason.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what's the book called that
it's called Lawyers Gone Bad, and it's there's a chapter in it that's dedicated to my sister and Agnew Johnson. So it's a bunch of different stories about lawyers in Canada that fucked up.
Should be a good read.
It sounds like a good read. I have you sent me images of the pages
the pages that so you can share them with everybody at the table if you.
Cool,
I don't.
Sweet, thank you.
Yeah, I remember, like, after I was sentenced for the Agnew Johnson thing, and I got out, I did end up going back to jail one more time after that before I straightened my life out. And when I was getting out, I was in, like, what they call phase 2 open custody. So it's like 16, 17. You're basically in a house, and it's transitioning you back into society. Mm-hmm. And they would have a Christian pastor come, and he would take people to a mall down the street. So going to a mall is better than being in sitting in the house. So I went down, and he had the fucking gall to tell me that my sister was in hell. Like, straight to my face. Yeah, like, straight to my face.
Brutal.
So,
what a sweet guy.
I know. It's awesome, isn't it?
Oh,
so much for the forgiveness of
that's
clergy.
that Christian love we always talk about.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Anyways, I walked away from him because it was either walk away or the pastor dies in the shopping mall. So I walked away, and I walked back to the open custody facility, and they almost charged me with AWOL.
Is that right?
Yeah. And then I told them, and then they were like, oh, whatever. And they just, but yeah, that was fucking pretty shitty.
That is terrible.
That's super shitty.
People could be such assholes sometimes.
Yeah.
Quick, say something funny to lighten the mood.
Yeah, no. So, to depress us further, I saw you on the Sacrilege podcast.
Okay.
And you told a story about your parents and how at some point you were with your dad.
Yeah.
Told you to go into your mother's house and trash it?
Yeah, so like my mom so my dad used to beat my mom.
Okay.
Pretty bad. And like he threw her down a flight of stairs when she was 8 months pregnant with me. But my dad was a diesel mechanic, and my mom is like legit a genius. She has a doctor's in social work. She ran for MP for the NDP in Thunder Bay. Like, she's legit a genius, but like borderline personality disorder and also a morphine addict. So she would do things to him like he would ask her what a word meant, and she would give him the absolute opposite meaning of the word. So then in conversation with somebody, he would use the wrong word, and then she would laugh at him. So they were both mutually abusive, him physically, her mentally. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so they're divorced, and my dad comes around maybe once in a blue moon. And this is my sister had already been kicked out of my mother's house, and I think I was 11 or 12 at the time. And so he started coming around again, and I was going for visits, and I decided that I wanted to live with him. So I moved in with him, but I was still going to my mother's house on the weekends. And every weekend he wanted to have full custody of me, but he didn't want to have to pay for it in court. So what he wanted me to do is he wanted me to go to my mother's house, trash her house, break all the dishes, and then run away back to his house. So that in his fucked up mind, he thought that the courts would think that there was something going on there and just give him full custody. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, even though my mother sucked and was like the worst fucking parent ever and like completely abusive, and actually both of my sisters were sex workers, she did work for the Children's Aid. So his plan, and they didn't know about her home life and what was going on with my sisters and me or anything at all, right? So he would not have won that case. But anyways, I digress. So he tells me, if you don't do it this weekend, I'm not coming to get you on Sunday. And, I took it as an empty threat. And on Sunday morning when he was supposed to pick me up, I went outside and my bike and my clothes were on the front lawn, and I haven't heard from him since.
Wow.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I don't mean to chuckle. Like, it's a nervous chuckle.
Oh, well, yeah. Like, at this point, man, like, honestly, I've let it, like, obviously it fucking sucks, right?
Yeah.
So it sucks to have that kind of history. But, I mean, like, I'm lucky to be where I'm at in life. I could easily be in jail for killing somebody.
Right.
I was a drug dealer. I robbed stores. I robbed people. I was a bad person for a very long time. I would say when I was younger, I was a product of a broken home and just the surroundings. But as an adult, those excuses I don't believe fly, because like somebody always has it rougher than you. Mm-hmm. And so like obviously there's been people that have had it a lot rougher than me and have not continued to do shitty things and hurt people. Mm-hmm. So I look at people that have had it easier than me, and they're making excuses for, hurting people, and it doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Like, take the Duggars, for instance, the guy that's molesting the children. Right. They've had a fantastic life. They've been on television, like, other than the religion, their family obviously has money. They built a fucking 35-room house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
they kind of need room for all the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, but it takes some, like, I do renovations, believe me, it takes some money to build a fucking house like that. Mm-hmm. So I just didn't want to make excuses for my behavior. So at first I would say I was pretending to be good. But then after a while it just kind of became habit. It became habit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
that makes
that's
sense.
I find you a kindred spirit within the atheist movement, because we're both blue collar type people who grew up from not the best homes. My situation was not abusive like yours was, but so I appreciate your voice in the atheist movement, as another blue collar guy who came from a shitty house.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That's
Edward Smith. Even though I was giving him shit at the beginning of the show, he's also a blue collar guy. And you remember the Ocean Ranger, the oil rig?
Oh yeah,
that went down. Yeah, his dad was one of the oil workers that was killed on there. So he had a pretty tough time growing up too, and he was a fisherman. So there's another one out there, and his podcast is called The Everyday Atheist.
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
and he's also on The Wayward Atheist as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right on, man. Well, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll let you go. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
And,
nice talking
can I
to you.
pimp my shit before I go?
Yeah, plug everything that you need to plug.
Okay, so it's Wayward Atheists on Facebook, Wayward Atheists on Twitter, waywardatheists@gmail.com, Wayward Atheists on Spreaker, Stitcher, or iTunes. And if you just want to friend me like as a regular person, it's Dave Edwards. The D and the A are capitalized because there's a fucking gabillion Dave Edwards, and it's just easier to find me that way. I'm super easy to talk to and not pretentious, and we'll be friends.
Yeah. Sweet. Awesome.
And I try to reply like within 20 to 30 minutes, even on our Facebook page. And Stitcher people, you guys need to fucking pull your shit together, because you're not getting as nearly the plays on my podcast on Stitcher as I am on Spreaker. It's like not close.
Yeah. The same thing happens to us. Like Stitcher.
So if you're a fucking Stitcher downloader, pull your shit together and start downloading my damn show.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, love you guys.
You too.
Right on. Thanks, man.
Take care.
No worries.
If you like what we're doing and want to help us keep the lights on, go become a patron at patreon.com/Brainstorm Podcast. You can hear the bonus half hour that we record every episode and get a shout out when you support the show. Become a patron for just $1 an episode at patreon.com/Brainstorm Podcast. Or you can support the show by ordering a t-shirt, mug, or other gear from our store at caffeepress.ca/Brainstorm Podcast Gear. If you can't afford to become a patron or buy gear, then why not give us a rating or write a review on iTunes or Stitcher? Every rating makes it easier for people to find us. Thanks for your support.
We are given one life, full of billions of small and large decisions. To be somebody, to change, to be kind, to give hope, to become a better person, and to leave a lasting impact on this planet. It is a decision to be made every single day while your heart is still beating. We've made our decision. Absence of Clothing, atheist and science-based apparel and merchandise, donating 50% of our profits to charity. Look good and feel good, without God. Check us out at absenceofclothing.com and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest for discount codes and other sweet swag.
Use the code BRAINSTORM at absenceofclothing.com and get 10% off.
We take you now to a conversation being shouted across a hillside.
What? I said I'm trying to come up with a promo for this podcast.
What podcast?
The Geologic Podcast.
What?
The Geologic Podcast.
Oh, Harab's pointless meanderings, skeptical observations, ridiculous musical interludes, and not a hint of geology.
Well,
alright, maybe a little bit of geology, but it's not worth it.
Come on, he's got the religious moron of the week. Geo's mom reads Jay-Z lyrics.
Pointless.
Ask George.
Oh, who cares what the bastard thinks?
Interesting fauna.
Oh, great.
The horoscope.
Garbage.
Not the Bible.
Boring garbage.
Misinformed science.
Stupid garbage.
True Adventures of the Philadelphia Funk Authority.
Ooh, white Ukrainian boy playing drums in a funk band must be fascinating.
But none of that is appealing.
Not even a wee bit.
Great. Don't tune in then.
I won't.
Fine.
Fine.
Great.
Great.
Fine.
Great.
Great.
You said that already.
The Geologic Podcast. Pointless, but free. GeologicPodcast.com.
All right. Well, I want to send out a big thanks to Dave for joining us this week. That was a good talk.
That
it was
fun.
just kind of nice hanging out.
Yeah.
That was
We
good.
should
I enjoyed that.
we should do that with everybody.
I'm starting to think so. Because, Dave Smalley, we just hung out and shot the shit, and it was entertaining. Whereas these structured questions just don't work.
Yeah, that's right.
They just don't work.
I mean, although I know more about Dave than I do other people, so I could actually just kind of ask him questions about his past and whatnot.
I think that helped.
Although, okay, so let's go into the Woo Report.
I'm not a scientist, but if I can tell you your science sucks, then your science really sucks.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck.
Fuck. All right. So this is really, I don't know what this website is. I don't even remember where I found it. Dr. Rima Truth Reports.
Yeah.
that inspires confidence.
Doesn't it?
Drugged and mind controlled. Prepare to be shocked. I do not believe anyone has made this connection before.
I was amazed there wasn't a million pop-ups when I actually opened that fucking link.
I know.
Yeah.
This is actually what it is it seems to be an ad for a book.
For an ebook, yeah.
Yeah, for an ebook. This lovely little site. It says, do we have anything to set off fireworks about if we've been tricked into adding mind control agents to our bodies to weaken our social bonds? The bad news is that it looked like a deceitful trick that has been working since 1953. Yeah. Here's the bottom line. Acetaminophen is a mind control drug.
Beware the Tylenol.
This is science.
The thing is, I read through this article and I just found I was confused. How do you get from fireworks to a painkiller? Now, to be fair, a recent study, a legitimate scientific study, came out about painkillers that they make you slightly less empathetic to other people.
Okay.
Which was a legitimate study, had nothing to do with this.
Of course.
But it seems that that's where she might be getting some of this from, because they did say that people who take a lot of painkillers, like constantly, they tend to be not quite as caring as people who don't. So
I mean, that's a combination if you're a chronic pill popper, and if you're in chronic pain, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
I think there's a number of issues at play.
So, but when I read this, it seems like I read that study, and I think that's maybe where she is getting this from, but I could not see.
It's actually a he. Most of the articles by this General
Burt.
Burt.
I just saw.
Dr. Rima, I think, is a woman.
Okay.
And that's the web page. That's the website this is hosting.
This is from General Burt.
From General Burt. Independence Day? Seriously.
But I don't know. Is the guy claiming that fireworks have this painkiller in it?
I think the fireworks is just the timing.
I think he's saying, let's set off fireworks because we're being mind controlled. That's what I think he's saying.
He was talking about he's getting into the whole 4th of July. It actually has nothing to do with fireworks.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. It's still bullshit, but it makes more sense.
It's still bullshit.
Because basically...
It's just they don't grammar.
Yeah, they don't grammar.
Or punctuate properly.
Because he's trying to link Tylenol and fluoride as being mind controlling and numbing and agents and...
Yeah, see, now what he's connecting here is he says acetaminophen is a mind control drug that actually keeps fluoride, another mind control drug, in our body longer.
The net result? Apathy.
Mind control.
Lack of empathy. Lowered IQs.
Yeah.
And
docility.
So,
on the one hand, and a need for ever increasing stimulation to generate the urgently needed brain chemicals we depend on for life.
Hence the violent video games and movies. And
have you watched Arn Ra's refuting the irrefutable truth videos? He's the guy who bangs on the table. This reminds me of that. Like, you could just see that guy going, the net result is apathy.
Well, you throw in the military.
That's intense, man.
See, the funny thing is, if you scroll through that article, like, they actually have the entire ebook at the bottom of it, and the guy links. Of course, it's like he links J.D. Rockefeller to the Rothschilds to Nazis. Like, I read the entire article, and as I was reading it, like, it's point by point. It's like 23 different points. I started reading the entire thing in my head, like the question from the Justice League Unlimited. And then there's points of it I started slipping into Rorschach.
Nice.
That reminds me of that part from So I Married an Axe Murderer, where his dad is like talking about the Queen, the Rothschilds, and the secret group that they have.
Yeah, well, that's just it. It's one of the oldest conspiracy theories out there is that the entire banking system is run by the Rothschilds, and they own the Rockefellers, and then blah 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 blah.
Yes,
the Illuminati
and the Illuminati.
Yes.
And like the guy, he connects it to the fucking Joseph Mengele and the tests at Auschwitz and that until whatever point 53 was. I don't know. There's
I refuse to click on that link.
I also do.
I looked at it. I'm like I want to.
But
did your thumb hover over?
Below, you can get a free copy of the ebook.
I didn't download it.
No, I am not.
I didn't download it, but it's in the window. You can actually scroll in the window.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you scroll through it, you can actually read it. And like I said, I just slipped into the question as I'm reading it.
Yeah.
The Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, and to make us all apathetic and blah blah freaking.
I'm sure earlier here it says it's not a conspiracy.
Well, no, of course it's not.
But isn't that the first sign that it's a conspiracy?
Usually,
because that's exactly what a conspiracy theorist would say.
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
The only thing we needed here was him to say, "It's the truth. Look it up." Of course, sheeple
with the black helicopters.
Exactly. There, that's the voice I should have read it in. The fucking Alex Jones.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough mention of the globalists, but I guess that's the Rothschilds.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yes. You could get an Illuminati T-shirt at Ardennes if you want to.
Oh, really? I want one.
If you're a tween girl.
Damn it!
They might even have it in your size too, Renee. But
I might really small shirts.
I might want one, but then they might I don't know. The police might start knocking around.
Maybe, but I kid you not. There was. I heard a true story, and I don't want to incriminate. I don't want to incriminate anyone by naming names, but I heard a story of a girl who went to Ardennes and purchased a T-shirt on a shopping spree, and then took it home to her mother, who was like, "What is that?" And then looked up Illuminati on the interweb and was convinced that it was a thing and forced her daughter to throw the T-shirt into the garbage.
Nice.
Well, yeah, yes.
Checkmate, atheists.
Right? I wanted to reach out to that person and be like, dude, it's not a thing.
It was a thing. It was 5 guys in Bavaria, but that was all it was.
Yeah.
The Illuminati were 5 philosophers in Bavaria. That's it.
So it was an actual legitimate thing for a very tiny
brief
period
moment
of
of time.
time.
I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't. It's not this ongoing Illuminati
silliness.
Well,
Freemasons.
They've
bullshit.
definitely stooped pretty low. They're mixing fluoride in our water and controlling our minds with painkillers.
That's true.
But
that's for sure true. That's science.
I had some wrist pain yesterday, and I took some painkillers. I give fewer
now you're
fucks.
mind controlled.
Yeah.
I give fewer fucks, that's for sure.
What do they say about if you drink enough tequila? If you drink enough tequila, 0 fucks are given.
I've been there.
That's why I stay away from tequila.
But I guess that's the difference. That's not mind controlled. That's mind altered.
Yes,
that's mind destroyed.
Yeah, but it's the tequila masters that are controlling your mind. They know what you're going to do.
Yeah, it's that worm. That's the
The
worm.
worm. That's probably like a reptilian sperm or something.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
the
know.
reptilian overlord sperm.
Is that somehow
Bottom of the
connected?
tequila
I'm sure that on the movie Poltergeist, one of the movies, the guy swallowed the worm while he was drinking, and I'm sure that's connected in some way.
That's what it is.
I can make connections randomly too. I'm allowed to do that, right?
Yes.
That's why they don't want you to mix tequila and painkillers, because those are two different guys controlling your mind.
that's
They don't
right.
want them to come into contact.
They'll conflict,
Yeah.
and your brain will explode or
It's a,
something.
it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, and
And then their lawyers will get involved, and it's just
it'll
Then they won't get any controlling done at all.
it'll tear a giant hole in the time-space
space-time
continuum.
Oh, it's a paradox, or what do you call them?
like
temporal
the
paradox.
screensaver here.
This temporal paradox due to lawyers and tequila worms.
See, we can get ridiculous with it, even without Gumby.
We don't need it.
We don't
Yeah.
need Gumby to get
No.
ridiculous.
No,
the
we
difference
don't.
is
But now we can't blame him anymore for it.
Oh shit!
but
This
the difference
sucks.
is-
I hope Gumby's not listening to this.
Is he?
But the difference is we don't believe in this bullshit.
No, that's true.
Yes.
Gumby kind of believes his own bullshit, I think.
He believes his own bullshit. I don't know if he believes this bullshit.
No, this is quite high on the bullshit meter.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I listened to the last episode that we did yesterday, and then I heard how many times we said it doesn't matter, it does matter, it doesn't matter, it does matter, it doesn't matter, it does matter. That was largely between Gumby and myself. But I'm like, oh shit, did we say it that many times?
See, now you know it's hard to talk to Gumby and not become an ass yourself.
Punch him in the face.
The good thing is I was sitting across from him. So.
That's like my cough medicine discussion with him. It works. No, it doesn't, Gumby. It works. No, it doesn't, Gumby. When you talk to him long enough, you'll be an ass too.
So I guess that's true mind control.
Talk to him long enough.
Yeah. Sorry, Gumby. I'll call you an ass in person the next time I see you. So this article is from thelifeisamazing.com. Yes, The Life is Amazing.
Okay.
There's 20 sources of
the-
pain in the body that are directly linked to emotional states. I'm not going to go through all of them, obviously.
No.
There's
But,
20. That's a lot.
That's a lot of... And
It's
they don't
mind over-
explain any of it.
It's mind over matter bullshit.
Yeah. It's basically pretend you feel good and you won't hurt anymore.
It's I don't know if it's quite as far as like say body talk bullshit, but it's kind of like one of those things like what was it like if you have what was it pain in your foot, it's because you're standing on a decision or some fucking bullshit like that.
It's just as ridiculous as the chakras, that
Yeah.
if we charge your chakra in this specific one, you will be, your head migraines will go away. And that's kind of how I felt reading this. They just pulled shit out of their ass saying
the
that
other thing is,
this pain is this.
The problem I have with like say chakras and stuff like that is that they're taking something from Hinduism belief, that cultural idea, and then westernizing it, and they're going, take this crystal, realign your chakra, and you won't have migraines.
Yeah.
It says in this article, the foot pain. Yeah.
When
You were depressed, you may feel some pain in the feet. Too much negativity can occur under your feet. Enjoy the small pleasures of life. Adopt a pet or find a new hobby, a new passion. Seek
Gumby
joy.
could have saved himself $300 by it.
He didn't need those orthotics.
No,
he
that's
just
right. He could have just
got himself a goldfish.
Got a fucking puppy.
But
puppy.
a puppy. I don't think that's a good idea, Gumby.
Don't get a puppy.
Don't get a puppy.
I was going through these one by one, and when I got to number 5, that's where I drew the line. I'm
That's
like,
as
all
far
right,
as you
I'm
got.
done. That one is pain in the shoulder may indicate that you're carrying a real emotional burden. That's where the saying shouldering a problem comes from.
No, it's
and
not.
then I didn't even finish the next sentence because that point keeps going. I just pressed a button, and then my phone gave me a different page, and I was like, yes.
This is better.
This is better.
The thing is, I mean, I've heard of stress headaches. I've heard of building tension when you're stressed out. But
right.
Yeah.
This is fucking.
But when she attributed shouldering a problem to the fact that your emotional problems are directly like your shoulder pain and your emotional problems go hand in hand.
Right.
Like I'm fine with you saying that stress causes pain in certain areas, which it sort of does sometimes, but you can't make claims like these.
No, you can't make these specific.
Yeah. If you're overly stressed, there's a good chance you'll wake up with a headache someday. Like,
yeah. I had chest pain from watching the Battle of the Bastards.
Mitch says,
that was
photons
intense.
have consciousness. Every time you turn off a light, you're a murderer.
That would be a serial killer.
Yeah. Every time.
Not just a murderer.
But you know what? This kind of links to that other article, though. If you think about it, if all pain is emotional pain, and Tylenol causes empathy or apathy.
Apathy.
Well, no, then it works. It gets.
They're linked.
They're linked.
Illuminati.
But
two bullshit con artists but it
makes sense because I mean if all pain in the body is based on emotional states and you take Tylenol, which is mind control, so you don't give a fuck. No pain.
No pain.
So you should never take painkillers, according to this article. If you have shoulder pain, you just need to lighten your fucking emotional load.
That's true.
And then your shoulder pain will go away.
Yeah.
No. If you just get your shit together, you'll never feel anything again. You'll have no pain.
Yes.
Nothing.
But
or just stop giving a fuck about anything or anybody.
Maybe.
We can do an experiment. Let's let Corey try that for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's pretty good with the zero fucks given. So Corey, do you got a headache this week? No, it's because zero fucks were given.
Fuck that.
I was just hunky dory, just fine. Everyone else around me was different story, but for me.
Yeah.
See, it's bullshit. I know it's bullshit.
You're finally coming around.
Finally.
You had a moment of doubt? Just a moment?
It's so funny, though, the way they're like, it hurts. And I get headaches a lot, fairly regularly, because the barometric pressure affects my head.
I got terrible sinuses. I can tell when it's going to do because it's just right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's I can't, and then I have a good cry, and then I get a fucking headache.
But number 11 is that you're carrying the weight of someone else's emotional burden is pain in the arms.
Pain in the arms. Well, I used to always get that playing volleyball.
Do they have pain in the ass?
Reading this article.
Rolling down, scrolling down. Yeah.
They don't go that
They have
specific.
pain in the hips.
I don't see anything anal, rectal.
Anal-rectal. Woo, that's a thing.
What else?
Pain causing fatigue.
Yeah, reading this article is kind of tiring.
An unexplained pain in various body parts.
Tailbone.
That's a catch-all. Number 20 is a fucking catch-all.
Unexplained pain and
anything else we didn't talk about.
We win.
Some good shit.
Yeah.
Or some bullshit, I'm not sure.
Or some bullshit.
This is glorious. I want to post this on Facebook and see how many people are like,
oh, wow. That's awesome.
That is so insightful.
This is why I don't post this stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
Somebody posted something about feng shui today about how there's so many fives involved in this year. So
that has nothing to do with feng shui.
There are fives every year,
right? But I don't know why, but this person shared it. And now I'm supposed to share it too.
Yeah, well, yeah, or else bad luck.
Yeah, because the number 5 is supposed to be like lucky in the monetary sense.
Lucky in the monetary sense.
We're supposed to like.
So that's different than some other kind of.
You get money as opposed to like love or.
That is not feng shui at all. That's just fucking
What is it,
bullshit
Renee?
numerology.
I almost shared that shit.
Isn't feng shui something about your furniture?
Yeah, it's supposed to be how you arrange your room.
Yeah, that's
based on the flow of energy.
I'm relative. Yes, Penn and Teller did approximately a third of an episode on proving that was bullshit.
Yes.
Like the
bed is
the
not
bullshit.
supposed to be like by the door.
Well, I can see how it can work. Like if you have a nice breeze coming in through one window, you might want to put your bed like right in front of it, so it's like nice and cool.
So it blows over top of you.
The energies are flowing. Like that makes sense.
Totally.
Does it really?
It's just like,
you can move your bed to where the breeze is flowing,
and that's where the magic comes from.
You're also supposed to not put your bed against a certain wall because of the magnetism.
I was just fucking around.
We don't really want to talk about feng shui. Hey? All right, it's 8:50. We better take a music break. I have a tablet that goes sideways all the time. I have a song from our very own Dave Roman. Hey. He did a remix of a How to Destroy Angels song called On the Wing. He did a skeptical remix of it.
I did.
Sweet.
And then we'll have Judith by A Perfect Circle, and we've got Replica by Fear Factory. And then we'll be back.
I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in anything.
We have no new updates for the Shift to Reason. I've been busy as fuck. Gumby's been busy as fuck. Angela's been busy as fuck.
Yes.
Life is busy.
But I give no fucks.
We will record another half hour for the Patreon page, but you can join us for the next live broadcast, probably on Spreaker. I will post the link on our Facebook page. Pay attention to that. Or you can go to our website and check out the live show page and the upcoming events page, which I will keep updated. There are some upcoming conferences in Canada. There's the annual non-conference this year in Niagara Falls on August 13th. And there's the AB Secular Conference on September 15th and 16th in Edmonton. There will be links in the show notes for those. We appreciate you listening, and if you want the extra content from after the live show, then you can go become a patron at patreon.com/brainstormpodcast, or you can check the website, brainstormblog.net, and click on the bonus content or support pages. We've got some great new goals and rewards set up for patrons, so check those out. Also, thank you, Nathan, our single patron.
You're the best.
You are the best. It's great if you can write a review and rate us on iTunes or Stitcher, and hit that subscribe button to increase our listeners. Thanks, Dave, for our intro music. Thanks to Alex Cabra-Murdoch for doing the voiceover and intro, and for some of our ads. Thank you to Jason Camo for our outro music. You can find his stuff at aloststateofmind.com. All music played is either with permission or under the SOCAN license to play. For more information on SOCAN, you can check out the music license info on our website, brainstormblog.net. You can also get cool Brainstorm gear at cafepress.ca/brainstormpodcastgear, or go to the support page of our website. If you didn't get a chance to contact us through the live chat going on during the episode, but think you need to tell us something, you can email us at mail@brainstormblog.net, or go to the website brainstormblog.net and go to the contact page. We recently got feedback from one listener. I just read it today, so we didn't have time to talk about it. We'll talk about that next episode. If you have a podcast or website and want a shout out or have a promo to play, let us know. We're also offering advertising to podcasts, bands, people, or organizations on the website. If you want to give us money, we'll put your shit on our shit. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a great, 2 weeks.
Bye, everybody.
Wanted to say thanks to everyone who listens to us, shares the show, gives us a rating on iTunes or Stitcher, or supports us through Patreon and Gumroad. We don't have a lot of interaction sometimes with our listeners, but what we have had proves that we attract some of the best people around. Smart, kind, and cool. An audience truly worthy of the titles hardcore and woo-free. Thanks for helping us make the world a smarter place.
This is an opinion-based podcast. Each person on the podcast is responsible for their own opinions, and those opinions don't necessarily reflect the views of the rest of the panel, any guests, or anyone associated with the people on the podcast, such as spouses, partners, children, other family members, friends, or employers. No one person speaks for the podcast with the possible exception of Corey, and he doesn't speak for anyone else on the show. The Brainstorm podcast does not represent the views of our sponsors.